Hi everyone, I'm Deanna Beaver and I attend Kulp UMC. I'm rather nervous doing this, so bear with me. Um, about a week ago, when I was helping Pastor Adam do one of the Sunday services, I made the mistake of looking at Pastor Adam straight in the eye, and before I knew it, he was asking me to do a quick video about tithing to post on the church's Facebook page. So my immediate thought was, oh no, no, I do not want to do this. But then he said I wasn't the only person he was asking. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I'm not the only fool who can't say no to the pastor and really mean it. So after I kind of pushed down some panic, I told Pastor Adam I would pray about it, and of course he knew that meant yes. So to get inspiration about what I wanted to say, I researched tithing in the Bible, and really the only story about tithing that I immediately knew was the one about the widow who gave all she had. I found it in Mark 12, and I'll read it. Sitting across from the temple treasury, Jesus watched how the crowd dropped money into the treasury. Many rich people were putting in large sums, and a poor widow came and dropped in 2 tiny coins worth very little. Summoning his disciples, Jesus said to them, I assure you, this poor widow has put in more than all those giving to the temple treasury. For the rich gave out of their surplus, but she gave out of her poverty, has put in everything she possessed, everything she had to live on. So, I read these verses once and I thought, I don't think I'm going to use this because it'll sound like I'm telling y'all that you need to give everything to church, and that's not what I wanted to say. But after I read it a few more times, I felt like, okay, maybe the verses were telling me to talk about life's priorities and where tithing is supposed to fit in. So here goes. I would bet very few of us see that giving to our church is as important as paying electric bills or buying groceries. We all know there are basic expenses we have, and being human, we of course put them first. But I'm sorry to tell you, the Bible tells us that we're supposed to give God our first fruits, not our surplus. This means that we're supposed to give him everything first. He's supposed to be first in our time, first in our talents, first in our money. So in day-to-day life, this means that we remember to budget tithing and amongst all our other things before we buy those donuts we love or we buy another pair of shoes. Really, we have all been so blessed by God to live in this country, and more specifically in this beautiful valley, and he only asks that we give a small portion back to him and his work. I also found a verse in 2 Corinthians that may sound familiar. Each person should give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or out of necessity, for God loves a cheerful giver. God knows our life circumstances. He knows our hearts. He knows our minds. He isn't going to ask us to give more than he knows we can give. He's asking us to give to what we know in our hearts to be right. So I know these last 2 months have been surreal and weird and stressful. None of us find it normal to wear a mask everywhere in public. None of us find it normal to be quarantined to our houses. To worry about how to pay our bills, or who's going to contract the virus next, or, will it be somebody I know, or will it be me? Will they get sick? Will they die? It makes us go around on the gerbil wheel, worried. But it's exactly at times like this that we need to be going to God in prayer, asking for his protection and guidance. It's also exactly at times like this that we depend even more on our church as a whole and on our pastor to be standing beside us, leading us, and helping us to get through each day. Tithing, this is my point, tithing by all of us is a really, really important part of us taking care of our church so that it can continue to take care of us. So I hope I didn't ramble too much. and that even a small part of what I've said will convince you to put God first, continue giving what you can, and to give cheerfully. Thanks.